A good old classic debate between the endgame, high-level, elitist PvM community versus the general public regarding drop rates of a new, difficult boss. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Zamorak, and today we're going to be talking about the Zamorak drop rate controversy and everything that's going on, all the sides, my own opinion, and just everything, because honestly, it's been entertaining for me to follow on Twitter. If you're not on social medias and you don't know what's going on, I will be explaining it to you. If you're going to enjoy this video, definitely go give it a like, comment, join in with the discussion down below. Please keep it civil somehow and try to see other people's perspectives as well. Subscribe if you're new. Let's just get into this video. So, what is currently going on? What is the issue? So, first of all, let's just quickly clarify what Zemi is about according to Jagex. Jagex recently on the Arrest This Guy's channel, he is obviously doing the whole interview series on the actual YouTube channel of RuneScape, and he uploaded a clip on his channel just before the release of Zamorak, where Jagex pretty much explains, and the developers that went on with Zemi, regarding how they see it pretty much being a boss that obviously infinitely scales, and to see where people can just push it to, and to see, oh, well, maybe right now 4,000 in rage will be the cap, but with new gear it will be 4,001 or 4,100 or whatever they will be able to push it to, of course. That is kind of the idea behind it, to be like an infinitely scaling boss that will always be relevant in the current PvM meta and difficulty and just enjoyment for the people that it is meant for. Because let's be honest, super high in rages is only meant for the absolute endgame PvMers that have like 2 inventories full somehow with switches, don't need any food yet, still don't die at these bosses, right? But what is the issue? Like, they have a boss that they want, like the endgame PvMers. They have a boss that is literally perfect for them. It infinitely scales, it will infinitely be difficult, and they can infinitely test their skill against this boss. Also drop rates, especially of the rares, because obviously the higher enrage you get with pretty much any enrage boss so far within RuneScape, you get more common loot. Common loot being, you know, your salvages, your herbs, your onyxes, the relics in this case. But it seems like currently the drop rate of the uniques, so the bow pieces, the codexes, the armor pieces, aren't really going up at higher enrages. And obviously, especially from 100 enrage forward, there's an extra phase, thus taking extra time as well, but obviously adding extra difficulty, because the last phase, or phase 7, is pretty much a DPS check, which obviously you need some skill to be able to do it, and you need to be able to put out some DPS whilst also getting hit quite hard. So there's definitely skill required to do it, or at least some knowledge of the game, and not just a regular Andy like me can do that, unless, you know, I give it a couple few good attempts. And I'll get into that as well in a little bit moment as well, like where I stand with this and how I see it, etc. But let's just paint the picture first before we get into all of that. So the high level community pretty much wants better rates for higher enrages, and to be fair, that is quite a reasonable demand, at least in my opinion. Because, let's be honest, if you put in the time and you put in the effort to do the more difficult version of a boss, you should also be rewarded more handsomely. One thing that I do want to clarify is we don't know exact drop rates. So we're kind of guessing of what people are kind of saying and experiencing. And that is kind of something I kind of want to bring up, is currently the meta, so to say, is 99% claim. So you pretty much do Zamorak at 99% enrage, and then you just get the loot and you just rinse and repeat that, because at 99% you will only have 6 phases, and pretty much from what I understand from the Arrest guy on Twitter, 99% enrage is, you can do 2 kills of that versus 1 kill of 500% enrage. So in the time that it takes, you can do 2, which, I mean, you have twice the rolls on an actual unique piece when you do the 99s versus the 500, thus making it better, because 500 isn't, at least not buffed dramatically, that it would actually be worth to just camp 500. And yes, the kill might be longer, but you also have a higher chance. That is currently not the case as far as we know. But like I said, we don't know exact drop rate, which makes it so we're guessing. Obviously, the group that does minus 100, so everything underneath 100 in rage, is a lot bigger than everyone doing it above it, because a lot of people struggle with P7. So obviously there's a way bigger sample size of people doing it below 100% in rage, versus people that do it above 100% in rage. And why I bring that up is obviously it is very difficult to guess drop rates when there are no like exact drop rates. It's not like we know that a bow piece at any point is 1 in 200 and it scales up to 1 in 100 or something when you get to 2000 in rage, for example. That is not something we know. That is not something that is relevant information right now. And Jagex actually had a statement on it, or Jagex Sponge, which I'll flash on the screen, so if you want to read it fully. But one thing, pretty much the most important part about it, is that they're currently not looking into nerfing lower in rages, but maybe buffing higher in rages. So that would be regarding the uniques, which, like I said earlier, I think it's good. But what is the other side of the discussion then? Why is there a discussion anyway? Because let's be honest, when you read this and people being, oh, you know what, I put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of skill into taking on this boss, but I'm not getting rewarded properly, and I like to have some more reward. That is a very fair request, in my opinion. However, the low-level PVM, or the, well, I would say mid-level or mid-skilled level PVM, like the C and the B tier PVMers, where I kind of fall in, pretty much. Like, I'm more like mid to lower C tier, don't get me wrong, but pretty much, like, obviously, you still need some skill to just take on Zamorak in general. It's not an easy boss to do, but it's, let's call it the low, mid, whatever, B, C tier PVM community. They kind of sit there, like, stop complaining and let us enjoy it, because a lot of people are kind of scared of Telos V2, and if you don't know what I mean by that, it's like, initially with Telos, and I think to a certain extent still now, like, the high-end rages obviously have better drop chances of the uniques, and if you really want to make money at Telos, you need to be able to push the higher-in rages compared to, like, the lower-in rages, so making it so that the lower-in rages are not really worth doing for less skilled players, because it takes too long and you don't have the skill to push it further to actually make it worth. There's a whole matrix and whole calculations, and it's complicated, and first of all, I don't fully understand it myself, but also from what I understand, like, it is so complicated that if I would explain it in this video, it would be like a 10-minute video on its own. So let's not do that. Let's try and keep it a bit concise when it comes to this, because it's such a big topic currently in the community going on, and I think it's good to just show all the sides. But a lot of people are scared of that happening again, so that, you know, Zamorak is a cool boss, but if you really want to be doing it, you kind of need to do the high-end rages if they were obviously to increase the drop rates and nerf the low drop rates, which obviously Jagex Statement says they don't want to be doing, because you will kind of fall in a bit of an idea where, you know, at least me and my friend would have this mindset, and I think there will be many others like us with the exact same mindset, is, you know what, we'll check out Zamorak, but we kind of know that we will not be able, due to our skill level, to be pushing higher in rages, so it will not even be worth camping the boss, because the chance of us getting unique is so low. It's better for us to go to hard mode Carapac or Elite Dungeons 3 or wherever is better money, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, that's what RuneScape is about. Why would I do X boss if I can make more money at X boss? Obviously, unless you care about collection logs and you already finished the other collection logs and you still just need to do this one. Shout out to you, Ruby. It's obviously more understandable that you'll be camping Zami, but in general, it will just make content more irrelevant, and that's why it makes me really happy that they're not looking into nerfing the lower in rages, because it would suck, honestly, because a lot of different skilled level players are currently enjoying Zamorak. The extremely high level community is absolutely smashing the enrage pushes that they're currently doing, and it's awesome to see, and seeing them come up with like different tactics and different metas and different styles to use and different tactics. It's amazing, it's great, it's awesome. But yet again, also the lower skill, the B and the C tier players could also really just camp this boss and make a good amount of money and get some uniques as well. So what should be done? What is it perfect where it is right now, or should there be done? Is there something to need to be done right now? First of all, I think Jagex should just be releasing the exact drop rates so we can actually, you know, formulate an accurate opinion on this subject at hand, because right now we're just guessing. We don't know if it skills. We don't know if the people that got over 1,000 enrage and are camping that at the moment are getting unlucky. We just don't know that. There is a very high chance that that might be the case, that maybe at above 1,000 enrage, like let's say a bow piece is 1 in 200, above 1,000 it might be 1 in 150, but we just don't know, because the people who are actually obviously smaller group that are pushing above 1,000 is a lot smaller than everyone who's sitting below 100. So obviously you're seeing a lot of people saying, oh, I got these drops and these drops. And don't get me wrong, I am fully aware that a lot of people got a lot of drops in general on the collection lock at 99 in Rage, because obviously you can do quick kills and the drop rates are not seeming to be that much lower than you know, higher in Rages, if there's already a buff in place for the higher in Rages. But the issue is as well, if you buff higher in Rages too much, it will literally, shut up Siri, it will literally just make the lower in Rages kind of irrelevant, and people have the feeling that they don't want to do it. And yes, I know it's a stupid feeling, but that's just how RuneScape works, and there's nothing we can do about it. So what do I suggest that they do? I think Jagex should really be looking at the data, looking at how they are currently functioning with the enrages, who's doing what in rage, and what would be right for the drop rates, where the price is sitting of the bow pieces. Because obviously if it becomes more like common at higher enrages, just slightly more common, then obviously the bow price will go down because the higher people will be farming it, etc, etc. I think there needs to be a balance found between the demands of the high level community and the demands of the low level community, because I do think that if you put in the effort, you should be rewarded for it. However, you're already getting a lot of common loot, and I do think you should get a slight increase in the drop rates. But then again, I also think that the pushing in rage is something niche and something for a very select few, and I want and I understand that Jagex wants the overall community to enjoy boss and feel like it is worth doing regarding drops. But also low level PVMers, or the B and the C tiers, as we call it in this video, are also scared of Telos V2 happening, thus like wanting nothing to change. But I do feel like there needs to be a slight increase, just not too much. So you get a slight reward, but it's still like a niche thing. If you want to push in rage, sure, you get rewarded slightly more, but it will not be like a double drop rate at 500 KC. But that is just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, because this is going to be fun, because a lot of different people watch my content and I love that, and it's great to see. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and my name is Zamorak, and see you guys in my next video.